We are live. I am Lynn Serrano, and this is my partner in crime. Your name?
I'm Sheryl Isenhour.
Welcome, everybody. If you only seen us backstage, like I should have had like a camera on how crazy it was for us before
For
the show.
you.
Yeah, for me, it was just a little. It was a little too much for me. And then Cheryl, if you can notice her background, she's in a different place. Where are you right now, Cheryl?
I'm actually at my manufacturing plant, working from my real job.
Your real job. And it's funny because I asked her this question. I was like, Cheryl, so even though you never go into your manufacturing place, do you still like really have an office? Like you could walk in there and work? And
I have a real office.
what did you say?
Nobody gets in my office. My office.
Oh my goodness. Hey Darlene, thank you for being here with us. Beautiful soul. We're going to talk about how persistent pays off, but I feel like this is a perfect time for you to share. Oh, and then we have the other half here, which I want to take a moment to say that next week we're going to have it's next week, I think, right? Yeah, we're going to have the one and only Jerry Eisenhower. We're going to talk about kind of spring cleaning and in the industries he's in, and he's going to have some great tips. So I thank him in advance for that. It's going to be on the May 4th. Be with us. The 4th. Be with us. Anyhow, so as far as persistent pays off, let's go back to you really quick and back in the day when you were single and raising kids and you had to get in the work field and what you did and kind of mention that a little bit. You had to be a little persistent, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, I started working in a construction site in 1974.
Wow.
Women didn't do that, okay?
No.
It was not part of the things that women did. And so it was hard enough getting my foot in the door. That's a whole nother day. We'll pull a whole day on that one. But even after you get in, all you hear is, uh, when's the man coming? When's the man coming? And it went on and on. It didn't take long. I mean, work ethics, and I guess I did a good job, eventually got me in, my foot in, and it got to be where it was Sheryl and the rest of the men. But it kind of opened a door for women, especially in the construction industry. I was the first female in the state of North Carolina to have a crew on site. And they were all men, needless to say, there for a while. And people would come in and they'd say, "We need to talk to your boss." And they would point there. That no, no, the guy. He'd point over to us, but or to me. But it was, you just had to stay behind it. And it didn't take long because I was extremely persistent and a little cocky. Okay. Uh, Imagine that. A lot of times they'd say, "Well, there's no woman going to do this job." And it was like, "Okay, see ya."
Want to bet?
And it would be like, "Well, who you going to get to do the job?" I said, "You want the job done, you're looking at it." And that's just how you had to do. And I did that for 22 years, actually.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
And you, not to mention that you had your CDL, right? You went ahead and drove
yeah.
truck, right? Which
In between those 22 years, yeah, they told me I could, construction was going down. Okay. And I had two kids to feed. And so, one thing I could think of that you could do that was always going to run was going to be freight. And so I made the smart remark one day, "Well, I think I'm just going to drive a truck." And they told me, "No, you can't." And it was like, "Watch me." So I went and got my CDLs and I long hauled. I logged a little over 230,000 miles before I construction leveled back out, and I went back into wallpaper hanging for the remainder of my 22 years.
I love that. I love the fact that you have a manufacturing company and and it's a women run business. I mean, that's just fabulous. I mean, that just says a lot. So it's so nice that we could see your little office space that you have there. And I'm glad to see people are keeping your plants alive because you never have time to go there. They better or else, right?
I just sort of. I got one over here that's it's kind of reneging on life, but we'll pop it up here a little bit today.
Oh my goodness. Well, I bring up all that because it is amazing how, within time we do evolve and we do learn and we do things on a daily basis and we don't see how it adds up to another one. And I think it's cool to say that you know, it seems like a really hard thing to achieve what you want to achieve. But, I didn't realize that for 2 years now I've been, on my YouTube channel, I got over 300 videos on there already. Over 300. And it just keeps piling. And so we started talking about persistence because like it's so funny how even though I'm half-assed trying to figure out how to advertise or do our podcast online, it finally went through, but I didn't even know it went through until I had somebody go ahead and Google me and they said, "You're a podcaster." I'm like, "They are?" I swear I felt like Steve Martin in The Jerk. I'm somebody.
Yeah, she was wide open yesterday, people. Don't let her fool you. She was a giggly teenager.
I was because like I know I it even in Billings here and stuff. I mean, like I'll comment on people's stuff on Facebook or this and that, and they're like, "Lynn, you're like a celebrity," and this and that. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like you don't realize how many people are watching you, and how just listening and stuff, because sometimes you're like, "Why should I do this?" or "Am I making a difference?" And I just do it because I need to get out of my comfort zone and I need to, I could be sitting there, woe is me, and this and that. And I may not be the best as anybody else, but I'm trying to be the best I can right now. And, it's life just happens. And you have to face things from your past. And I had to deal and do that now with an ex-husband who passed away and my kids and all these things. So, I mean, there's things that can just take you back a step, and in a week, about 13 days, it'll be 5 years ago. My brother's been gone and my mom's been gone 6 years. So there's always these things that we go through that just take us back. And I'm just trying to go forward, and not keep bringing all those layers on me with me. And so it's a everyday battle, but I know everybody deals with these things. There's all these reasons and things that can keep us down. And sometimes not you can't forget them, but you got to move on. You're still here for a purpose. You got to realize you're here because there's a purpose, and so
And another persistent person is Jerry. I mean, he is always looking into a phone talking or into a camera or on a podcast or doing something. And he's like you. That's how he got where he is in the broadcasting world. He stays at it.
yeah.
So proud of him for doing that because some of us can't do it quite as much. So it's nice to know that he has that drive, and he is like he does it. The lives on the Facebook, he does the StreamYards, same thing you and I are doing now. And so he's made a difference in his industry by doing it also.
Yeah. So it's one of those things. Don't ever. Well, I think one girl that Jerry and I know, she just said, "I'm gonna go back to college. I know, at 30." And I'm like, "Please, I know people that went in their 60s and 70s to go to college. Like, there's never we got to get those stigmas. We got to get those things thinking you can't do something because it's your time is gone. Look at Colonel Sanders did something with the business, and Sam Walter. I mean, like, it's just, why do we have to think we have to be in this box? Why can we not be persistent to just say, you know what? Everybody else thinks we're crazy. A little crazy doesn't hurt anybody because the proof is in the pudding, right?
I grew up with my dad and my grandfather, two of my major mentors in my life. The one thing they would never let me say was, I can't do something. I mean, my grandfather was very adamant in the fact of you may not do it as well as somebody, you may not have the correct equipment, He said, but if you've got equipment and you've got the drive and you've got the mentality to learn, that you can do anything you want to. But
Yeah.
they wouldn't let me be an astronaut. So
Hey, I don't want you going up to the moon. Nuh-uh. I want you to stay here.
that was one of my thoughts many, many, many years ago, back when it first started. It was like, I would love to do that. That part of my bucket list is gone. So we can.
Well, I always thought I'd go out of a plane, but I can't because I've got herniated discs and things like that. But I was like, I did want to do that, but I guess that's just not in the cards. But I'm like, wait a second. Why? There's 95-year-olds that have done it. And you can't tell me they don't have like brittle bones and all this stuff. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I still
We'll
think
go
it's
for it.
possible. I think it's still, except I do have problems with my arms and stuff, and sometimes I can't move. So I'll keep my mobility, even though it's very little. I'll keep what I got for now. I don't want to, I think that's just like, it's one of those things when you already know you can't walk so far or you're hurt and you're in pain. Why are you going to have this pain is going to be nothing compared to if something goes wrong for landing on the ground. So,
And
uh,
Jerry's theory is there's no use to jump out of a perfectly good plane.
I always said that they should have like have a parachute on the back of you just to ride in a regular plane. Especially if you have, fears, you could feel really good that way. And then I'd sit in an emergency seat. I'll let everybody out and I'll just parachute down. I
Oh,
just
you
don't
want
know
to
how to
freak
land.
somebody, you want to freak people out. We had a friend, he's passed away now, but he parachute jumped a lot. So he would go to Europe and places to do it. So he had to take his parachute on the plane. So
Oh shit.
you're getting on the plane with a parachute, and people are look. Of course, nowadays they would assume you were a terrorist if you did that.
Yeah.
But they look at him and they look at him funny, and he says, "They didn't give you one." So Pete was just one of those people you either hated him or loved him, but uh, he would do things like that and never break a smile. He was just he freaked people out a lot.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would probably do the same thing now if you got on a plane with a parachute.
They didn't give you one. I love it. But if you're persistent enough,
You
you
get yours.
probably get yours. Oh goodness, that is so funny.
Well,
So
you've got to stay persistent, Lynn. You can't just try one time and it kind of it kind of fails. If it kind of fails, that means you didn't fail. It means try again. And I mean, is there a limited number of tries? Yes, there is. There is. Shake your head. I mean, there's some things that maybe you can't do, like you're not going to jump out of a plane. There's things you can't do.
yeah,
But if you can do it, stay at it. If it's
yeah.
something that that's needed to be done for yourself or for other human beings around you, stay at it. Don't ever give up.
Yeah, don't have regrets. Don't have regrets and not do things that will inspire you to do better and be better. I mean, I have a far, far long way to be the best I can be, but it's in the makings and more so it's like you know I, I'm I still really am struggling with some things that I am going to be doing, but I do see like I think today's post somewhere there's a video of me dancing and I recorded them like come on, and it's like because there's all those judgmental haters out there, but I'm like what I'm not gonna pay attention to them but sometimes you just have to not listen to that negative Nancy that we all have that lives with us
Well,
and
Lynn,
just
are you
say
doing anything to hurt anybody?
exactly. Nope, not doing it.
Well, then your
Yep.
response is don't care.
Yep. Exactly.
In
Exactly.
fact, if you want to, I'm one of these people. If you're bitching at me, you're saving time bitching at somebody else. So have at it. I mean, I can throw it back as hard as I play tennis, okay, with verbiage. So you want to play, Sheryl can play you a game.
Yeah.
Or either I'll just walk away, which is usually my style, because if you've got a smart man and an idiot standing across the street arguing, you really can't tell which one's the smart man.
Amen, sister. That's right. That's right. And
So,
everything's not always about you.
mm,
So, again, you guys, I hope you found some piece of nuggets here that will help you think the way you need to think. Not we're not here to convince anybody else, but have conversations and make you think, to talk to yourself and figure things out, and look at the times in your life where you were persistent, especially when you were a child. And hi, Tammy, and thank you. Well, we're getting off of here ourselves, so. She's in her office and I'm here. My granddaughter gets out early, and I'm excited. This tonight we're going to have Debbie's show, and I'm going to help produce that with Ken Walls with us. So I'm pretty excited about that. And we will see you next Wednesday, huh? You got any more wisdom that you want to give to everyone on persistence before we leave?
keep your chin up, your shoulders back, and just get on with life.
I'm doing the best I can. Love you, Sheryl. Love everybody that's watching. We really appreciate you. We hope that you have a great hump day and make it the best. We'll talk to you later.
Bye
Bye.
bye.
You're like a circle that floats around.